History is fraught with various notable individuals whose contrasting personalities have shifted cultures and societies. In this video, we will aim to analyze two notable figures from history: Tenzin Gyatso, the current Dalai Lama of Tibet, a Type B figure, and Joseph Stalin, the former leader of the Soviet Union, a Type A figure. First, let's analyze what exactly a Type A or a Type B personality is. Cardiologists Mayer Friedman and R.H. Rosenman formulated a theory in the 1950s that included three categories: Type A, Type B, and Type AB. Type A and B are referred to as almost polar opposites, which can be said for the personalities of the Dalai Lama and Stalin. Type A's are driven by ambition and achieving goals. They are impatient and lose their temper quickly. Even after achieving a goal, they receive no joy from it and continue to strive to achieve more. They are highly motivated, achievement-oriented individuals. This is in contrast to List B individuals. List B individuals are easygoing, take things as they come, and tend to be more sociable than List A individuals. They are creative individuals. To fully understand and comprehend the motives and internal processes of our List A and List B figures, we must psychologically analyze their personality, as personality is referred to as a key defining feature of individuals. Psychologists have put forth multiple theories to explain human behavior and the causes and the future trends of development in a person's personality. According to the American Psychological Association, personality is defined as individual differences in characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. And what does this actually mean, though? Personality is not a directly measurable or physically observable phenomenon. Rather, it is a concept that allows us to predict behavior. Personality aims to explain what makes us who we are, our identity, and our individuality. Due to its ambiguous nature, personality has been a contentious area for psychologists, with many competing theories trying to explain the concept of personality. Psychologists aim to explain why you are so extroverted or conscientious, and try to explain your ambitions, dreams, fears, and sources of joy are what they are, using personality theories. In this video, we will be analyzing the personality of Joseph Stalin and Tenzin Gyatso through McRae and Costa's trait theory of personality and Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory of personality. McRae and Costa's trait theory. McRae and Costa are often regarded as the successors of Hans Eysenck personality theory, which included extroversion, neuroticism, and psychoticism. They expanded on his traits to develop the neo-personality, which has been revised multiple times throughout the years, with the most recent revision occurring in 2005 with the Neo-PI-3. McRae and Costa proposed each trait was a dimension, and you can rank in any place on the spectrum from low to high, which is in contrast to Eysenck's bipolar scale, where you are either a yes or no on each trait. The 5 traits that McRae and Costa proposed are now regarded as the Big 5 personality traits, or the 5-factor model. The traits in the 5-factor model are openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. You may have noticed that these traits make the acronym OCEAN, which is a pretty helpful acronym to keep in mind. Now that we know what the traits of the 5-factor model are, let us examine what they actually mean and where Stalin and the Dalai Lama would be on the traits. Just a reminder, each trait, like we mentioned before, is a spectrum or dimension of your personality. Openness to experience. Scoring highly on this trait generally means you are open to unconventional ideas or beliefs. You're more open to artistic experiences you are unfamiliar with, like different cultures and music. Having a low score on this spectrum means you may be more comfortable with experiences you are already familiar with and stick heavily to tradition. Joseph Stalin would very clearly have a low score for openness to experience. During his time as leader of the Soviet Union, he heavily protected arts which he personally enjoyed. These arts were conservative and traditional, such as classical drama, opera, and ballet. He despised avant-garde arts like Cubism and Futurism, generally not open to the new experiences, and favoring his traditional styles. He also did not like to experience other cultures, favoring his native Georgian culture and being openly anti-Semitic. The Dalai Lama, on the other hand, is known for being very open to other cultures and beliefs. He would most likely score highly on the openness to experience spectrum. The Dalai Lama engages in a lot of interfaith dialogue with leaders of other religions, trying to understand their experiences. He is also open to reformist ideas within his position, such as the next Dalai Lama being a woman. All the Dalai Lamas have been men so far, so this is an unconventional idea which he is open to. Not much is known about the Dalai Lama's opinions on artistic experiences, however. Conscientiousness. Scoring highly in this field means an individual is generally more aware of their actions and the consequences that come with them. These people who score highly are tidy, well-organized, and goal-orientated. They are undeterred by hard work and are keen to succeed. Being unconscientious can be characterized as being late, unmotivated, and being impulsive. Both the Dalai Lama and Stalin would score very highly for conscientiousness, and they are both motivated and highly goal-orientated, and well admired for their hard-working tendencies. Extroversion is characterized by being an outgoing individual. Extroverts are often at the center of attention, unafraid to engage in conversation with others. They thrive in the company of others. Scoring low on this spectrum means you are introverted, which means you are very shy around groups of people and avoid large social gatherings. The Dalai Lama and Joseph Stalin are both leaders of large entities. They are both in the center of attention, often speak to large crowds, often interact with large amounts of people. Whether they feel comfortable doing so is unknown, but what is known is that these behaviors are often reflective of a highly extroverted individual. Agreeableness. Peers of an agreeable individual often refer to them as friendly, as scoring highly for agreeableness means you are more likable, trusting of others, and altruistic. They often avoid arguments and try to resolve conflict. Disagreeable individuals serve their own self-interest, disregarding the ideas of making friends. The Dalai Lama would score very highly for agreeableness. He is well liked by many, often stays away from controversies, and preaches non-violence and harmony, acting in an altruistic manner. Stalin can be regarded as a complete opposite, serving only himself, silencing dissidents, and seen as a generally unlikable figure, even by those loyal to him. Stalin argued with many close around him, and he was regarded as bad-tempered and unpredictable by people in his inner circle. Neuroticism. This spectrum measures emotional stability and emotional instability. People who score highly for neuroticism are often fearful and anxious. They worry and overthink their problems. They dwell on negativity in their situation. Neuroticism can result in an individual feeling frustrated and angry when things do not turn out the way they intended. If you score low on this spectrum, you focus less on these negative concerns, and in a situation that doesn't go quite according to plan, someone with low neuroticism can remain calm. The Dalai Lama often incorporates meditation techniques in his daily life, allowing him not to be overwhelmed with anxiety in stressful situations. He can remain calm and has been shown to do so on many occasions. Stalin often tended to overthink everything. He thought that people were conspiring against him. He was emotionally unstable, with psychologists and historians alike believing he had a sociopathic personality disorder, as he often reveled in the pain and torture of others. His emotions changed drastically as he went through violent mood swings, and he derived deep satisfaction from the degradation and humiliation of others. Now that we have identified the big 5 traits and where our 2 personalities lie on the spectrum, we can move forward and analyze our personality using Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory. Albert Bandura is widely acknowledged as a pioneer in behaviorism, a branch in psychology dedicated to the observable behavior and response. His famous Bobo doll experiment demonstrated the linkage between observation and learning. Bandura's social cognitive theory introduced the concept of reciprocal determinism. This is the concept in which he believes personality is molded. Reciprocal determinism can be represented as a model, where our behavior is influenced by what we see and what we think and believe, and the reverse is also applicable, where what we think and believe is influenced by our behavior. In order to simplify this concept, I present to you an example. Children who have observed their parents resolve disputes through calm discussion will believe this is the method in resolving disputes and will likely repeat this behavior. Bandura is basically linking observational learning with personality. The concept of watching a behavior without reinforcements of any other kind will lead to the behavior being replicated. Bandura further developed his ideas of the concept of self-efficacy, the idea that one must be sure of their own ability. Only with a belief in themselves can someone be effective in meeting demands of particular situations. Doubting yourself can impede on our progress in being successful. To observe the personalities of Stalin and Gyatso, we must look into their past and understand what they have observed during their childhood. Joseph Stalin was born in a small Georgian town of Gori. Initially, his father was a successful shoemaker, but after the business started failing, he became an alcoholic. His family fell into poverty, and Stalin's life became very tough. Stalin's father would often beat him and his mother while he was drunk. This became such an issue that Stalin's mother took Stalin and left his alcoholic father. Stalin spent a few years jumping from house to house until his mother moved in with a family friend who helped fund Stalin's education, of which he was impoverished of previously. Stalin was a good student, but often found himself in many fights. Using Bandura's social cognitive theory, we can deduce that a violent upbringing and abuse by his father and at school had led to the violent tendencies we have witnessed from Stalin as he grew older. Tenzin Gyatso was born in a small hamlet in Tibet. At the age of merely 2 years old, Tenzin Gyatso was deemed to be the Dalai Lama reincarnated and deemed the 14th Dalai Lama. He lived a quite privileged life compared to Stalin. Regarded in high esteem, the Dalai Lama was raised studying Buddhist philosophy and was taught by monks in the ways of non-violence, meditation, and peaceful practices. As the enthroned leader of Tibet at only the age of 15, the Dalai Lama led a quite privileged life, being well respected and revered. He did not encounter the hardships and abuse Stalin did growing up. We can conclude using social cognitive theory that the peaceful demeanor and non-violent attitudes of the Dalai Lama was due to his upbringing as a Buddhist philosopher and leader. In this video, we have observed the personalities of Joseph Stalin and Tenzin Gyatso through 2 theories, Costa and McRae's trait theory and Albert Bandura's social cognitive theory. However, this is a very narrow lens, and countless other theories can be used to attempt to psychologically analyze individuals. Each has their own advantages and disadvantages. Thanks for watching.